Alright, all the early games have finished, so before the late games get good, thought I might as well come on here and, take care of this. So, I don't really know where to go with this. I was planning to come on here and really dig into this team because what I saw out there was embarrassing and, in my opinion, a terrible effort to start the game. And for most of the game, it was. I mean, we looked like we got destroyed for most of that game. There's no way around that, but, excuse me. At the same time, I'll admit that at the end, Indianapolis pulled the starters, pretty much let us score, but at least we executed. That's what I liked. I'm just glad that we executed near the end, and that gives me some hope moving forward. So I'm not going to dig into this team for a lack of effort. I could, but I think I'll stay away from that. So, well, it was 34-17. We got some Colts fans on here, so, respect to you guys. You guys probably know I respect your organization a lot and the way they run things. And the way they really take care of business in there. So, they are now 4-0. They look really good. They look like they're going to make a real run at this whole thing. So, Peyton Manning lit us up. I pretty much knew that would happen. He had a great game. Made really one bad throw the whole game. The pick to Ken Lucas, which was weird. I got to give out props to Ken Lucas for actually playing a good game. Early in the game, too, he was one of the few people that I can actually give significant props to. The receivers, Clark, Wayne, Garcon, Colley, even Adai had a good game through the air. They played solid, definitely. Adai and Brown played pretty well on the ground as well. They both had a touchdown. They played, not spectacular, but they got the job done, certainly. Their defensive line murdered us. Dwight Freeney did play. He did have a sack, and for a lot of that game, Wallace was running for his life, and, the Colts tackled extremely well. There was always somebody in position to make the play. They didn't abandon their assignments. They stuck with their assignments all game, and there was really very little for us to do for pretty much that whole game. There was just nothing there. Nothing there. So they played awesome. I'm not surprised we lost. I'm not surprised we lost by 17. If anything surprises me, it's the pathetic effort early in that game until really pretty much late in the fourth when we did start executing, and, that's great, but the game was already over. You look at the numbers, you'll say to yourself, Wallace played well, and, he played all right, but there are too many mistakes in his game. As far as backups go, he's pretty good. I mean, he's one of the best backups in the league, but at the same time, he is a backup. So to all you people calling for Seneca Wallace to start permanently, I'm not buying that. I want Matt back in there as soon as possible. Julius Jones, Edgerrin James, not much of a running game from them. I mean, we kind of had to abandon the run early, but really, when we did run the ball, it wasn't very effective, so that sucked. I said in my pregame video we needed to run the ball well if we wanted any chance, and sure as hell didn't do that. Really, the receivers played well. I got to give props to Houshmandzadeh, Deion Branch, John Carlson, even, Nate Burleson, although Burleson dropped some passes. Those guys came to play, especially near the end, but throughout that whole game, the offense was able to move the ball somewhat. We just couldn't score, which is kind of important, but we were able to move the ball pretty well, and, it wasn't all bad. It's just we couldn't finish off drives, we couldn't get extended plays going. It was really tough for us to string together any real success, but Houshmandzadeh had a 100-yard game, Branch had a great game, Carlson, late in the game especially, came on strong. Defensively, pretty bad. I got to give it up to guys like Ken Lucas, who played well, Deion Branch, who was hitting hard and forced a fumble and made some plays and prevented that touchdown to Clark. Tutupu came back and played well. Props to him. Babineau hustling on that onside kick to recover it for us, but there's not a lot else you can say good about this one. I mean, we stopped the run all right, I guess, but really, for the most part, we were kind of sort of helpless against the pass. Not much of a pass rush. Sometimes we did get a rush, but we didn't get any sacks. There were just and the secondary. It's not surprising, but still, you hate to see so many easy pitch and catches given up. And I don't know. The last couple of drives gave me some encouragement, I guess, but in all honesty, the game was over. All it is hopefully building up momentum for future weeks. I was going to come on here and say some bad things about this team, not because I was mad, but because I saw a team that was full of losers late in the third quarter. A team that really just couldn't do anything, and it was really frustrating. But well, we executed at the end, and I got to say some positive things about that, because I'll admit the Colts brought their backups in, but at the same time we had to execute to get those 2 touchdown drives, and we did. So offensive line did not play well until near the end, giving up all those sacks on Wallace, most of which were not his fault. Wallace fumbled twice. It's really hard for me to put that on him, but that's arguable. What else? What else? Do I still not like the play calling? I guess. I don't know. There's not a lot I can go with here. So props to the Colts. We got flattened, but the stuff at the end gives me a little bit of encouragement. Some guys on this team deserve some props, but we got work to do. These next 2 games are probably winnable, and I'll talk more about that later. But for now, I'm going to go watch the late games. I'm out.